Welcome to Germany Today from Deutschland in English, where we cover the top news stories in Germany for January 1st, 2026. Today, we'll discuss the unfortunate events that marred New Year's celebrations across the country, highlight the exciting sports calendar ahead with the Football World Cup and Winter Olympics, and touch on significant economic challenges and legislative changes facing German businesses this year. Let's get started. New Year's Eve in Germany this year was marred by violence and tragedy. In Bielefeld, two 18-year-olds lost their lives due to homemade firecracker explosions, one on a playground and the other later in the hospital. Authorities found no evidence of third-party involvement in these incidents. In Berlin, police made over 400 arrests, with 4,300 officers deployed to manage the crowds. They confiscated more than 220,000 illegal firecrackers and dealt with injuries from attacks involving rockets and pyrotechnics. Similar scenes unfolded in Leipzig and Essen, where firefighters and police faced assaults, including thrown glass and fireworks. While many areas, like Munich and the Brandenburg Gate, enjoyed peaceful celebrations, the night highlighted serious public safety concerns, with multiple injuries reported nationwide, including children suffering severe hand injuries. Authorities are continuing their investigations into these incidents. Germany's New Year celebrations in 2026 were marred by tragic incidents involving fireworks. In Bielefeld, two 18-year-old males tragically lost their lives due to fatal injuries from homemade fireworks. Authorities determined there was no third-party involvement. Additionally, a 14-year-old boy near Rostock suffered the loss of his left hand after a firecracker exploded, highlighting the dangers of private fireworks. In Berlin, celebrations turned chaotic, with over 300 arrests reported by 1 a.m. Emergency services faced attacks, with fireworks launched at them in neighborhoods like Neukölln and Moabit. A bomb explosion in Spandau injured one person and led to more than 100 detentions for fireworks-related offenses. Following these events, there's growing pressure for stricter regulations on private fireworks use, similar to the Netherlands, which is implementing a total ban by the end of this year. These incidents have reignited discussions about how to ensure safety during celebrations. The year 2026 is set to be a thrilling one for sports fans, featuring two major international events. The Winter Olympics will take place from February 6th to 22nd in Milan and Cortina d'Ampezzo, Italy. This edition promises to be exciting, with NHL players participating in the hockey tournament, making for some intense competition. Following the Olympics, the Paralympics will celebrate its 50th anniversary. Later in the year, the Men's Football World Cup kicks off from June 11th to July 19th across the United States, Mexico and Canada, expanding to 48 teams. Germany will be competing in Group E, promising a vibrant display of football culture. Also noteworthy, Germany will host the Women's Basketball World Cup in September, and tennis fans will be keen to watch Alexander Zverev at the Australian Open. With an expanded Formula One season lined up, 2026 is shaping up to be a remarkable year for sports, as highlighted by Deutsche Welle. As we kick off 2026, German companies are facing significant changes and economic headwinds. The coalition government is stepping up to reduce bureaucracy by 25%, which could save the economy around €16 billion. This shift includes new laws across agriculture, pensions, transportation and construction. Starting today, the minimum wage rises to €13.90 per hour, with plans to hit €14.60 next year. There's also good news for retirees. Under the new active rente, they can now earn up to €2,000 tax-free if they continue working. However, the Bodensee-Oberschwaben region is grappling with supply chain challenges and rising insolvencies, particularly in automotive and metal production. Despite these hurdles, the handicraft sector shows promise, with increasing youth interest. Experts are calling for clear political frameworks to support businesses, especially in vehicle replacement and housing construction. As reported in various sources, the road ahead will require resilience and adaptability from all sectors. Ahead of the upcoming state elections in Germany, the German Judges Association, known as the Deutsche Richterbund, is raising alarms about threats to judicial independence. Sven Raben, the association's federal manager, pointed out that political interference is becoming a significant concern, particularly with the rise of anti-liberal forces that could compromise judicial impartiality. Currently, judges for state constitutional courts are elected by a two-thirds parliamentary majority, which can lead to deadlocks. To tackle this, Raben has proposed that if Parliament can't agree, the nomination rights should shift to the State Constitutional Court or an independent committee of experts. He also called for a thorough review of how judges are selected and promoted to bolster independence. In a more urgent plea, Raben suggested abolishing the directive powers of justice ministries over public prosecutors, warning that such oversight could lead to manipulation and jeopardize justice. These calls for reform highlight the need to safeguard the judiciary's role in upholding democratic norms as elections approach. Thank you for listening to Germany Today. You can find links to articles for each story in the episode show notes. And for the latest news from Germany in English, visit deutschlandinenglish.com.